This will be one of these ones I say like for advanced players. By which I mean someone who's just watched the last chain of videos and like is following along. Like, one of the things is I said that the tactics of this movement, is to pretend they're unaware of everything. And I told you, that comment, Cranberry Street, Crenshaw Boulevard. Is it in California? Like, they're pretending they're unaware of a lot of things. It's a part of the tactics. But I actually find that they really don't know what I mean when I say, well, I've never been diagnosed with a mental illness, but like I'm a schizo. And I'm saying what I found out in graduate school is that they do read a lot of material, a lot of different material very fast. So they know how to do these like studies on people and stuff. But when they say, the fact that they're unaware of things, you ever see the movie Good Will Hunting? About this guy, he's a guy who's got a high IQ, whatever, or he's like a genius or something, and then Robin Williams plays a psychiatrist, and he says like, all you shrinks, like you all got these books on your wall, but you have the wrong books, and you usually have like too many of them. Like, why don't you read A People's History of the United States? Like that book will wake you up. Like, why do you need other books? You've got so many books, but they're like the wrong books, and there's a lot of them. And I see the same thing, like the way they're reading, like they read a lot of different things, and they like the ideas. So they'll say something like they know, like I follow Wittgenstein. They say, oh, that's my favorite philosopher. What do you mean favorite? Philosophy is like how you perceive reality. Like objectivism makes sense, and the Wittgenstein makes sense. Like I actually don't know it. Like these other ones don't fit into reality. I mean, you read all the philosophers? Wait a minute. And it all makes sense to you and they're just different philosophers? Wait a minute. No, I was looking for a philosophy that, like, would make my life livable. Like, a philosophy. I have Wittgenstein and there's Ayn Rand, and I don't have any of the philosophy books. I don't know what they're talking about. But, like, that's just it. Like, I have one book, like, I found on things. So when I tell them that I'm, like, a schizo, and then under this system of capitalism, like we are in schizophrenia, but they're also inducing schizophrenia. It's a lot of it from abuse. They don't really know what I mean by schizophrenia. Like they don't read their own books. They're not reading the books the way a person who wants to be self-educated would. They're reading it like an academic or something, and they're going through too much material like too fast, maybe, because they don't know anything technical about these, like what these diagnoses are they're using. So I said, well, no, it's said. They don't have word combinations or something. Like I'm being a Scientologist type person. Like, I like getting the correct word combination. I see, because of the abuse being done to me all the time, there's what's called a cognitive overload that leads to a proprioceptive problem, meaning the sense of your body, you become split from your body, and our sense of self is largely connected to our position and weight and the structure of our body itself. So we put on a lot of weight. You gain a lot of weight. It may be disturbing to your concept of yourself. Like, right, in the same sense, like you get the cognitive overload from having games played on you starts to cause all these like muscular problems, and then your concept of yourself sort of destabilizes because your body is having a sort of dysmorphic experience. That's how I would define like a big part of what's being called schizophrenia. They don't like know that. They do and they don't. Like, they don't know. I like know the word combinations to use. They seem to go through a lot of material and like have a general gist of it, but say that these things are poorly understood, but they just like diagnose. But they don't have objectivist believes in a definition. Like what I just told you was going to be definition of one facet of schizophrenia. Like they don't have a definition. They've just covered all the different writings on such and such, and like then they write a book like how schizophrenia became the black protest psychosis. Like, oh, how could you think it's that's a thought disorder to say that? No. The reality is schizophrenia under this system. Like, what? Like, why do you say that? Like, you haven't read Capitalism Schizophrenia? Like, no, what do they say the connection is? Like, they really haven't, they don't read their own books or something, but their game is to pretend they're unaware of things that they obviously are, just like who Noam Chomsky is, or what neighborhood you live in, or that there's shootings in your neighborhood. That's their game, to pretend that everything's new information. But when it comes to the actual books about so-called mental illness, they don't really hold technical definitions of those. Like, they really, I wanted to talk to them about it. They don't know what I mean when I say I'm a schizo. So they don't say that as yourself. You don't have schizophrenia. Like, oh, sure I do. You just never caught me. But no, I mean, with all these things, the trauma induced, right? These are, but you don't really know what the word means. Like, they're not really into knowing about that. They seem to be into doing a study on human behavior, but they're not that interested in what the diagnosis refers to. And he's fucked up, don't you think? Pardon my language. Then again, that could be a game. Like, you never know what they're up to.